That's right back, Charlie's definitely.
People deluded. Make sure you get your Trapaholic keys, man. www.trapaholic.co.uk. Come on, man. Make sure you get it. Don't miss out. Come on. Day up. Look, it's all matching and shit. I've seen come with a black and gold one. Come on. Arsenal.
People deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. Big up you lot tuned in, appreciative folks. Hit the like button, let's get to 200 likes and get to the transfer news. Talking points are welcome, get them into it. DJ, reload it, it's a banger, You're talking about me, innit? Let's go.
People deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. Like the big man, Uncle Ian said, people deluded. I'm back again. First things first, good morning to you lot. With it being the halfway point of the week, I hope everyone and their families are fit and healthy, especially in these testing times where everything's negative in the world is again centered around financially and all of them things there, energy companies and them things. Hope everyone's moving closer to their goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations, and all of that. Please hit the like button, Twitch gang. Appreciative, especially because we just had the live stream. Obviously, after this, I'm live at 4:30 on Twitch. It's Football Manager business. Tomorrow we're watching All or Nothing. You have to have Twitch, you have to have Amazon Prime, and you have to be there at 3:30. So yeah, man, I've told you lot in it. Don't forget on the weekend it's Arsenal versus Leicester. I will be doing a watch along for that. Don't shag yourselves and say I'm going to do it. Only a fool will rely on Twitch and YouTube notifications. So hit the like button on that. Every like button helps the engagement, and we're flirting with 50,000. We're at 48 and some change, people. We're almost there. Please, any talking points, get them in. While I defo would like Arsenal to sign some players, I defo like to speak about transfers and everything to do with Arsenal, and we always do that. It's you lot that make the channel. It's you lot that make the discussion, talking points, questions, everything. Take part in the votes if that's happening on YouTube, Twitch gang. You know what you need to do in that regard. So yeah, I hope everyone's blessed, man. DG, have you seen Eddie Nketiah's stats per 90? Nah, send me it. I haven't seen that, man. Send me that. Greetings, James. I hope you're doing well and safe. Yo, DG, good morning. Right back at you. How are we feeling? Decent, my guy, man. The day's nice. I feel good about myself, good about my personal life. Inshallah, good about my private life. I'm definitely not the most healthiest of guys. I need to definitely pattern up. But yeah, everything's going great, man. Everything's going great. Appreciate you for asking, man. Love for sending me that tea. Sorry, folks. Let me obviously copy and paste that. Obviously, Eddie Nketiah's per 90 is probably going to be a bit screwed, though, because out of all the appearances he's made for Arsenal Football Club, he hasn't played 90 minutes that much, but I'm going to pre it and see what that's about, people. Love for sending me that as well. Appreciate that. Voltage and Lobo, appreciate you lot for resubscribing with Amazon Prime. Appreciate the Twitch ones doing up all of them ones, people. We're off to a good start, 46 likes. So yeah, the quicker we get to 200, the quicker we look on this Tonali and all these business. And pardon me, Edu's allegedly willing to walk away from the Tielemans deal. Allegedly, but what you lot saying, man? Let me see what else you lot saying. If Arsenal actually signed Tonali, it just shows how the money in the Prem is ruining football. I hear you, but is it really ruining football? It's just England are more beneficial than other countries, isn't it? If obviously La Liga is not as competitive as the Premier League, respectfully, because there's not as many, there's not as many teams fighting for top four, and there's only 2 teams fighting for the league, but you never know. And obviously the rich is in the game. If La Liga still had Messi and Ronaldo at the top of their games, they don't have that really. There's no really any battles. I'm not really feeling the Haaland versus Darwin Núñez battle. I think the game's gone a bit mad. They're 2 good players, but yeah, man can't be going. That can't be it. So I wouldn't say that. You could say football in general is ruining the game. There's a lot of football there's a lot of money in football in general. We all know they play on our heartstrings, and our love for football is unimaginative. There's men that will cheat on their gal and their wives. They will never support another football team. Not saying you should, or watch another football team or whatever in it. Death taxes in your football club typically are what's there. So yeah, man, I think it's not just a Premier League thing, it's everything. It's a Fat Cats thing. And this is why I say some agents and majority of the players, they deserve it, because at the end of the day, these Fat Cats that own these football clubs, you know, they're just leveraging our love of the game of money. They've got nice villas in the 4 corners, 5 corners. How many corners are in this world? So yeah, man, I wouldn't say it's ruining the game. I do think that Premier League, every option is to throw money at things. You know, the Premier League have more failures in terms of signings than anyone else, really. I think other clubs, they have to develop the youth, get a tune out of players a bit more, and spending for some countries almost the last option. For us, it's just pour money at things, man. DG from Nairobi, as usual, mad fan, appreciate the Kenyans. What's your prediction for the game on Saturday? I want to win, bro. I want a 3-0. I want a Gabriel's hat trick or a brace, and someone else can chip in. What's up with the Tielemans deal? 200 likes, we get into that. We'll regret relying on Xhaka again. A new 8 is vital. Amen. If Tielemans comes and mashes works at the Emirates, I'll be vexed. I mean, it's in his best interest to remind Edu, yo, you need to buy me, you know, to remind his Belgian gaffer that if you ever thought about leaving me out of the World Cup, maybe even to get a new deal from Leicester or to promote other clubs. You know, the only winner, in my opinion, from Tielemans this deal dragging out is Tielemans, because he might get a club that's doing bigger and better things than Arsenal, able to offer him better things than Arsenal. Obviously, he's able, the longer it goes on, the more he's able to leverage a good contract out of people as well. So, yeah, I do think we're still in for Tielemans. I do think it's a bit of mind games. I do think it's a bit fugazi in that regard. But I can't say anything less. I mean, really and truly. In fact, I'm so sure I made some notes on my feelings in thoughts to this as well, people. Give me a sec. I'll actually find them, man. I'm sure I did some random notes on this. Don't let me down. Where are they? Yeah, man. Allegedly, if Arsenal are to walk away from the Tielemans deal, why I don't necessarily buy it is because it could happen. Arsenal defo could do some special things like that, but you've gone too far to turn back. You tried to get him last summer. You got him in January. You know, you tried to get him in Jan. Personal terms, we hear are not a problem. You're hearing coming out, other clubs are interested. Liverpool wanted him as well, allegedly. But, you know, you've sold him the project. You've convinced him on the project. You're a number 1 target. Am I a bit concerned that we didn't get him in for pre-season with this rebuild or any other 8? Of course, people. But I think it's mind games. I think it's a bit of stick or twist. You know, again, Tielemans not signing for anyone helps only Tielemans. You know, it might help Leicester if he somehow changes his mind, signs a new deal and whatnot. But we hear that we're willing to offer 25, 30. They want 32. You're going to act. I know you basically made your money back from Monaco. You could get a player that's in his prime 20s leaving for free, which is an L. You know, it only benefits Tielemans because Arsenal doing all this groundwork. If you don't get him, then you need to have backups. And everyone that you try to sign is going to know there was a second option. And every club that you try to sign a centre mid is going to want more money because they know that this didn't happen. They know that they need to find replacements. And they know Arsenal is well documented. We need a midfielder. The mind games only helps Tielemans. Obviously, if he signs for Arsenal or anyone else, great. If he stays at Leicester, then he's obviously got stability there. You know, just the other day we heard he put his house up for sale, but he's got stability there. He knows he's going to play week in, week out. It's not a new system and structure and all of that jazz. You play well going into a Winter World Cup. The next month when the World Cup ends is December. You can agree a pre-contract with a club abroad, or you can indirectly agree to join another Premier League team. And because he's a free agent, he'll leverage more money and things like that. Obviously, if he plays worse, then there's things. But the mind games only benefit Tielemans, and there's just under a couple of weeks now of the market, so it's probably just mind games. It's probably just stick or twist. A part of me believes it at face value, but a part of me sits there and says Edu has to have briefed Tielemans and his advisors that we're playing the waiting game, we're playing a game of chess, we're playing a game of thrones, we're playing a game of stick or twist, people. So yeah, man. And for Leicester, they're struggling to sign players, and we heard they might have to let a couple players go. So if they're haggling over a couple of million, obviously, you know, they clearly need players, because you saw Maddison, Tielemans, Dewsbury Hall and Cole were on fire at some point in that Leicester game, but they can't keep clean sheets, much like last season. And, you know, Rodgers hasn't been able to bring any players in. So if you don't get some funds, you're not bringing people in. So it don't benefit Leicester or us. For us, we're now having to haggle for other targets. If Tielemans was to sign for another club, or it's made abundantly clear we're not signing him, we probably know the Arthur Melo links would start happening in full circle. What Edu has to have is alternatives. They must have alternatives. He must have told Tielemans and his advisors of their plan, if this is a plan. So I do think it's a stick or twist thing, but at the end of the day, who knows really and truly? Who actually knows? So we're gonna have to see how that one develops. You know, if Eddie's prepared to walk away, you know, I mean, City walk away from players all the time, and they seem to have other targets, really and truly. So let's see what happens in that regards, man. But yeah, 200 likes, we get into that in depth, people. Until then, it's a madness. 58 likes, you lot are starting to slack. Shout out the Twitch ones, people, as well. Keep your opinions coming. This is Arsenal. I can say never with this team. Where have you been for 10 years? Crazy. We all keep forgetting that we might actually need a number 6 replacement. I can't lie to you. I want Fofana from Monaco if that's the case. They're going to cost a pretty penny. They just let Tuchemani go, so they probably will want extra money. I still think there's many aspects of him being raw, but he's got a good engine, fairly good on the ball, sticks to his task. He seems like a good learner. You know, I think Fofana could be one, but it's a pretty penny, really. We probably, as I said at the start of the summer, if it was up to me, obviously I didn't know we was going to get Zinchenko, who can play there, and obviously I didn't know we was going to get Fabio Vieira, but at the time, I was screaming, can we get 2 8s and a 6? You know, someone that can challenge Partey and play with Partey. I know there is Lokonga. Obviously, Lokonga's just been bought. You just signed El Nene. Xhaka's playing week in, week out. It probably was just one or done. So it is what it is. And where Fabio Vieira and Zinchenko to go with Smith Rowe and Odegaard, that's probably what makes beyond the obvious Paqueta a myth as well, really and truly. So we'll have to see how things go, really. Gabriel was Brazilian and he only came because of our